the Father, all called deities or demigods, because they are not contaminated by the material conception of life. Not only are the Asuras envious of the Lord, and even denying the existence of the Lord, but they are also envious of all other living beings. The predominance of Asuras in the world is occasionally rectified by the Lord when he eliminates them from the world and establishes a rule of Devatas, like the Pandavas. His designation as Kala is in his designation as Kala in disguise is significant. He is not at all vain, but he is the transcendental form of eternity, knowledge, and bliss. For the devotees, his actual form is disclosed, and for the non-devotees, he appears like Galavapa, which is casual. This casual form of the Lord is not at all pleasing to the Asuras, and therefore they think of the Lord as formless in order to feel secure that they will not be vanquished by the Lord. Okay. Translation in the content, the Supreme Prasad Godhead, Lord Shri Krishna, or that Supreme Prasad Godhead, Lord Shri Krishna, in the guise of all tomorrow and time, Galavapa, has now descended on earth to eliminate the envious. Dhritarashtra tried to resist this time factor, right? He tried to maintain his position, his family, his home, his kingdom, but over time, over the course of time, uh, in the form of even this Kurukshetra war, everything was destroyed, right? And still, he tried so hard to, take hold of it and stuff and not let it go. He didn't want to wake up to reality. So, and that is the power of this illusion. So time, we've talked about it several times before too, and stuff. But this is the position, right? Some people will wake up to reality, and some people won't. Now, this Asuric mentality, this very envious mentality. So, why did Dhritarashtra not understand at this time? Because he had this Asuric mentality, to deny reality, basically. So, Bhagavad Gita, also in chapter 16, so Bhagavad Gita and Srimad Bhagavatam very nicely go together, right? Bhagavad Gita is our almost law book, the book of how to live this life. And Srimad Bhagavatam are the stories that explain examples of how to live this life. So both of them correlate very nicely together. So when we talk about one, it's very easy to talk about the other. So in Bhagavad Gita, chapter 16, Krishna is describing the nature of the asuras, right? Himalaya, divine. So those who are opposed to this divine understanding are the asuras. So in general, we have to think about this. So if you're opposed to learn about anything about divine or taking this understanding or improving of your consciousness or wanting to understand what the truth is, what reality is, that's kind of a circle. So Asura may think, so much wealth I have today, I'm the Lord, I'm perfect, right? But this is exactly like Dhritarashtra's mentality, in the sense that, this is my kingdom. These are my sons. I must protect them at all costs, right? Not understanding that he's being pushed through time. Whether he likes it or not, whether he wants to wake up to reality or not, he's being pushed. Right? It's the energy of the all-supreme Lord Shri Krishna. So, this denial of reality, even in the face of so much destruction, still denies reality. So when we look at time, we look at this mentality, this Asura mentality, we can try to combine these two now. So, Asuras, as we see Dhritarashtra, try to defy time, right? Many people in this world, they spend time, energy, money, so much stuff like, I will live forever, right? Building technologies to try to freeze themselves so that they can be woken up and right? All kinds of crazy things. So they feel like they can control everything, right? But again, this time is pushing them. They want to enjoy endlessly. So searching so much, spending energy, time, effort, all this stuff just to enjoy constantly. But as we see in this purport, right, eternity, knowledge, and bliss, right? Sat Chit Ananda. This is all in Krishna. So this individual or this asura, right, thinks that that they can obtain all of this, Satchitananda, right? But Kala, this time, is going to prove them wrong again and again and again. And we know in Bhagavad Gita, when someone doesn't accept the reality of this time factor, it becomes very scary. Death becomes very frightening. But when someone understands that my Father is the one controlling this time, right? He's sending me reminders, he's teaching me, he's the one who can liberate me, right? Then, as consciousness of knowledge, we understand that Gala, or time, is just another beautiful energy of the Lord, right? And we become not afraid of death, right? So this is kind of the process of learning and understanding this time factor. So depending on the consciousness, we have different understandings of this particular time factor. And Dhritarashtra is our greatest case study. It's a wonderful case study with this Bhagavatam, right? And stuff like that. So Dhritarashtra, having this sort of mentality, he also had the association, the direct association of saintly persons, right? Krishna was part of his family, right? Structure. He had instructions from Vidura, and so he had so many great sages and so forth, the association of them and stuff. Still, he chose attachment. And why was this? Because of this assertive mentality that we had, this consciousness that we had. And it wasn't a lack of knowledge to him either, right? But it was his refusal to accept the truth. So knowledge and truth, two things. You can get the knowledge, but if you're not willing to accept the truth, that's another level, right? So we see that Dhritarashtra, you had all of those things, right? In this association, all of this knowledge, all of this in his presence, but he wasn't willing to accept the truth. This is also part of the sort of mentality. So, and this is also very important today because everyone has access to Bhagavad Gita, right? Everyone has access to Srimad Bhagavatam. Everyone now has access to spiritual teachers, to spiritual masters, and so forth, to Srila Prabhupada. The internet gives you access instantly, 24 hours a day, right? So there's no excuse. Now, all these items are here to prepare us, right? To change our consciousness from assertive consciousness to spiritual consciousness, to Krishna consciousness. But are you willing to accept the truth, right? So still, there are individuals that are rejected, right? And this is the Asura mentality. This is the envious. This is the Surabha, right? So, again, it's pretty black and white. Which side do you want to be on? Or which, when you wake up in the morning, which way do you want to go? And stuff. So, fortunately, Dhritarashtra had Vidur, kind of slap him around, giving very hard instructions, to destroy this illusion that Dhritarashtra had. And this is, again, people come into our lives, and it's the mercy of the Lord, right? So we have to be able to recognize, to accept, to really take to this truth, People will be coming into our lives in and out and stuff, but whether we want to accept it or not, that is, again, our decision. The time is going to continue on. Keep pushing us, whether we want to believe it or not. So, and you see Vidur, he was like so super strong, right? Still, telling Dhritarashtra, you're looking like a dog. Someone else is not. That's pretty strong, But he had to be that harsh because some people accept it, some people don't. So some people can get it on a first chance, some people don't. But Srimad Bhagavatam and time will continuously push us, so that we get this access to spiritual life, right? And stuff. And strong medicine. Some people need strong medicine, right? And that's what the spirituality was. Srila Prabhupada constantly has told us, you are not this body, your spirit, soul. Now, yes, we have the knowledge, but do we understand the truth of that? By our actions, by our words, and stuff. Material life is constantly, there's struggles, right? sure that you've heard this. When a kitten is in the mouth of a cat, mother cat, right? It feels protected, it feels loved, right? Those teeth that are, holding the kitten up, right? Mother is taking care of it. Those same teeth, though, of the cat is very frightening and painful for a rat, right? Because those same teeth are death for a rat. So a rat will avoid, the cut of the teeth at all costs. Doesn't want to get captured by a cat, right? And stuff. But a devotee, he will embrace it. Because a devotee sees his time, this death, as a transformation in this material world. As Krishna is coming, right? So, when he sees time, he sees that Krishna is coming. That Krishna is coming to collect us, to take us back home. This is the mentality of the devotee, right? Krishna is preparing us, with this old age birth, death, and disease. Krishna is preparing us as a sacrifice to take us back to his roots. So, accepting the truth and preparing for it, this is what spiritual life is about. Accepting these facts. So, Prabhupada would often explain that, people are taught in the schools, unfortunately, is all assorted knowledge that is technically being taught in schools, right? How to enjoy more, how to accumulate more, how to, ignore God. Ego is being fed constantly, right? But unfortunately, there is ability space. These temples are like hospitals, right? There was a verse from Shilpa Tuesday, for instance, Tuesday, that these hospitals are these temples are hospitals, right? Where we can get cured with strong medicine to cure us from this problem, right? From this passing of time, this aging and stuff. It prepares us. So, there's a story also that about Jethro. These dacoits, right, were looking for a human sacrifice, and they were willing to, and Jethro was basically captured and taken for this sacrifice. And in him, he was only seeing Krishna, right? And so let them do what they want to do. They prepared it very nicely. They baked it, had scented oils and all these garments, right? To take them to the goddess Kali to sacrifice them, this human sacrifice and stuff. But in some way, Krishna is this form of time. It's his devotee. He's preparing us as an offering to himself, right? As we are getting this, as we're chanting, as we're doing all of these things, we are preparing ourselves for the ultimate sacrifice to go back to Krishna. Radhanath Maharaj in one lecture, he gives like a nice example about a potato. Okay. So, potato, we mash it, we chop it, we take a knife to it, right? We do so many things to this poor potato and stuff. And the potato, right, it understood what's happening to it. Like, it would not be in a comfortable situation, right? You're being fried in oil, and you're being boiled in water, right? This poor potato, but if the potato understands that in the end, he's being offered to Krishna, right? His life becomes perfect, right? The potato is perfect. So, but if the potato doesn't know, right, like, that it's being offered to Krishna in the end, it would become very retrograde, right? It doesn't want to be cut, it doesn't want to be bad for the world, right? And stuff. So, similarly, but if we understand this is also very nice, in life, we are going to get mashed and cut and boiled, and so many things are going to happen to us, right? You may get insulted, you may get, things might happen to you. Why is this happening to me? And stuff good and bad things are happening. Krishna is just preparing us both for this. And we understand that this time factor is just an instrument. It's just energy of Krishna, right? And although materialistic people might be afraid to give national oil to the bride and stuff, a devotee welcomes these preparations because it brings us closer to Krishna. Hopefully that makes sense. And stuff. But so when we understand that in time things are going to happen to us, right? But if we look at time as a whole, as Krishna's energy, it is just preparing us for that ultimate sacrifice. So in this way, if we know all of this is happening, we accept it, we learn to understand this truth, right? Then we become free of this assertive mentality. And it's very simple, right? Because in Bhagavad Gita, Krishna is telling us in chapter 7, that this divine energy of mind is difficult to overcome. We know it's hard to overcome. But those who surrender unto me, can easily cross beyond it, right? So, the solution, we have to learn to surrender. Whether we like it or not, Krishna is pushing us through. And eventually we have to surrender to something. So, by hearing regularly, chanting, associating, coming to this hospital, temple hospital, and so forth, especially chanting this particular yoga, this particular time, right? Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare. This is what is going to bring our energy. This is going to let us absorb the truth in our mind and stuff. And this is what transforms us from this asura, it's divine. It's the Buddha from ignorance to knowledge, from fear time to freedom. It is this chanting process that is going to help us, right? And using this time properly, right? We can do assertive type activities, or we can try to do some divine Krishna conscious type activities. And so this is kind of what I wanted to talk about today. In general, it's a summary. Time is going to take everything from us. I'm currently moving out of my home, and it's incredible how much over time you collect things. And it's also incredible that as time goes on, you have to let go of everything right there. And so moving itself has become a very huge lesson. But yes, time is going to take everything. You know, at the end of the day, how much are you keeping? Because you're not going to keep it. This assertive mentality, it will blind us. We will want to enjoy forever. We will want to maintain this beauty forever. We will want to do so many things forever. But it doesn't last forever. 100% definitely. And in spiritual life, technically it cannot be postponed. Whether you're 1 year old or you're reaching your 80th birthday, congrats. But time is going to continue for everyone. And the spiritual life, if you continue to postpone it, you know, when you're old and you're not able to understand, your hearing will go, eyes will go, all these things are time is going to take everything, including all of that, right? If you wait till you're 82 years old, you will not be able to, even if you want to, because you're physically won't be able to. So take spiritual life as young as possible. In fact, we've seen for Radharani, right, that within the womb, we've got Krishna consciousness, right? So you're never too old or young, or don't even think about that. Take to it now, right? I don't care how old you are and stuff. For parents, bring your child to Krishna consciousness. It is the greatest thing you can do to your child, right? We're actually starting parent-taught classes because even children as young as 1 so forth, all the way to, we have Sunday feast and wonderfully every week we have class, every day we have classes here, right? And stuff, so there's no reason why you can't start your spirit club. Even if you're home and you can't come to the temple, just chant. You can chant